Nintendo was a trailblazer throughout the 80s and 90s. Fast forward to the 2000s and they got a little spicy. I mean, close your eyes and imagine. You're the company who invented the D-pad and analog stick. You get up on stage and say, "Can I get some hype for the Wii Vitality sensor?" But even before the era of the PS Triple,
Wii?
the Big N was kinda out there with the GameCube. Nintendo made the GameCube mic, and we still gave them money. Oh god. And as wonky as the Cube controller was, look at this one. 4 buttons on a console released in this millennium? I mean, Nintendo, look outside. The year is 2001. How could Nintendo make next-gen games with controls that simple? When compared with WarioWare, Mario Party 4, released 2002, is a complete dumb man's game. You'd have to be a bozo to like it, and can we please stop with the clown noises? Watch out, it's WarioWare Mega Micro Game. 60 is a scared man's number, try 200. Realistic graphics, realistic habits. You can shake hands with the dog. But micro games are pretty easy, and since they're only one player, where does the challenge come from? Yes, it's fine. No, it's cool. It's cool. Bro, it's cool. Bro. Setting new high scores is surprisingly fun and... Yes! Okay, I'm gonna have to start charging for my autograph. The star of the first WarioWare is definitely the presentation. The cutscenes aren't as great as later entries, but there's still some bangers here. Niner, we got an L4W. That's right, a woman late for work requesting backup. Request granted. We gave you everyone on the force. Please take down and kill that fucking degenerate. I can't talk about this game without talking about its companion game, which is pretty much the same thing, but with a multiplayer focus. It does have cutscenes, though. It sure does have cutscenes. I ended up playing all the modes, and most ended up being really good. Most. I'll be ranking every game in the series, so... With 2 bangers in a row, WarioWare was starting to pick up some steam. And so the next game was actually 2 games developed by 2 different teams. Let's start out with Twisted. This was the only game I missed out on as a kid, and it used a wacky cartridge to sense motion. And as it turns out, motion controls on a handheld creates a little problem. You're not only moving the controller, but also the screen, so you'd expect everything to look like... But Twisted managed to design around this flaw in various ways and even made it a benefit. Games were now grouped by how they controlled rather than how they were themed. You'd think this would limit Twisted's variety, but it really didn't. The controls are surprisingly great for everything. For many, this is the best WarioWare, and so far it's the best I've played. Not super impressive since I've only played 1.5 games before this, but it's a really innovative way to make it look like you don't know how to play video games. I'm playing video games! However, we can't talk about the peaks of a series without the valets. Not valleys, valets. Because Touched has the grace and awe of a 16-car pileup. The other game in development at the time was made by the only people who could possibly make Sticker Star. They handled the series from here on out, but this is their first WarioWare, and... yeah, this is their first WarioWare. You'd think the cutscenes are multi-billion-dollar epics with how long they take since they focus on dialogue instead of... action. Also, the cutscenes just end. But what about the gameplay? Mediocre. It's mediocre. A part of this is because they tried the same thing with different control styles as in Twisted, but with a 1-point touchscreen, you can't be as creative. This is super apparent in Mike's stage. The only stage I felt like had decent variety was Cat and Anna's. Oh god, confrontation!
You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
It got good reviews back in the day, sure, but most of it was coming from, oh god, I can pet Wario? Also, I'd like to point out the massive amount of technology on display here. I mean, China and the US are only still competing in the tech race because they didn't see Japan reach the finish line like 3 years ago. Anyways, this is last place so far. 2006. Nintendo releases a slightly more powerful GameCube. It comes with a free wizard wand. Those people we're seeing right now are what we'd like to call
casuals. But I have my Sims.
What the fuck? I don't like the Wii that much, but for some reason, a ton of the games on the console are complete bangers. Punch-Out!, Mario Galaxy, hell, even my all-time favorite game, Xenoblade Chronicles, found its home here. However, all these games aren't something that could have only been made possible by the console. Especially Xenoblade, that game was straight up held back by the Wii. Out of all the games made specifically for the console's controller in mind, there's like 2 good ones. WarioWare is one of them, baby! This game is just pure joy, and the star of the show is the different forms.
The elephant, the waiter, the janitor.
It really hit me when I opened my mouth to drink non-existent water that this is what Nintendo had in mind when making the Wii. And not Madden All-Play 2009. This game is just really good, and I'm going to make a really funny joke where I say the wrong name of a hardworking developer because they are from the same country and it's funny. Good shit, Randy Pitchford. For all the fun I was having, putting it anywhere below Mega Micro Games would be a crime. In fact, it's just that good. Now, I'm going to skip rating Snap, DIY, and Game & Wario for a few reasons. They are all pretty much spin-offs. I mean, Snapped is a DSiWare game. That should be enough to scare you away. And DIY is mainly based on other people's creations if you're actually playing. That service closed 5 years ago. Finally, Game & Wario, apart from a single mode, isn't even WarioWare. I might make videos on these games later, but all I'm saying is if I unironically make a Snapped retrospective, that is a direct call for help. Finally, WarioWare Gold. These cutscenes are so good. They probably didn't even have a script. I think Charles Martinet just walked in, acted like Wario for an hour, and they realized they needed
Welcome to Gigantaburger. What can I get you?
Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce.
This is a unique game in the series, as most micro games are from past entries. They are given a new coat of paint and sometimes even a new control scheme. This is definitely the most feature-complete WarioWare. Most of the previous entries you just competed for high scores and but Gold is different. There's not really repeats in micro games. There's a ton of missions and collectibles. The controls are improved. All the micro games work, and there's 50% more of them. But even though I'll probably play Gold more, the sheer amount of enjoyment I got from the Wii entry is enough to justify keeping it at first.
Game over.
It's truly something that cannot be replicated, and I'm trusting all my fans to not leak this footage to fellow gamers.